God. Can't hear me again. Is this better? Is this better? I think that I had my microphone turned off. Pretty sure that I did. I did. I had my microphone turned off. Well, so the first thing that you can do to get more butts in the seats to your events is have your microphone work. So there'll be 4 steps today instead of 3. It's on now. All right. Fantastic. Well, that was not BeLive's fault. That was mine. That was me. Let me repeat very quickly what I was saying. Getting more people to your events is crucial for small business owners. Stacy Spenceley is with us. It looked like I was saying something really interesting. You are so kind. Getting small. I know Stacy Spenceley is with us. She's got some classes that she does every single month, and then some one-off classes as well. I've got online classes. I've got broadcasts happening all the time. I've got YouTube videos going up. I am a busy content creation machine. And most of them are coming to those events. And when people are, consuming what you have to put out there, it does wonders for our business. It creates relationships with people. It creates further collaboration, perhaps some business. This is the stuff that we really want to go on. What we really hate is when we create a bunch of stuff and nobody shows up. What we really keeps us up at night is when we've got a whole online class that we took 6 weeks to make and nobody registers. That kind of stuff. It goes on all the time. So you can use bots to mitigate some of that. You can use bots to drive registration, to drive interest to your events, to drive butts in the seats, all of the important things. So I'm going to go over 3 levels of things that you can do to drive more people to your events. We're going to go basic to super advanced. Okay, here's the basic level. You can just send out some reminders through your bot. You can just send out, a day before, an hour before, 15 minutes before. You can just send out a series of basic reminders that will, give people a link to join if it's something that is something you can, join online, or if it's a live workshop that you can't necessarily do that. But this really helps, especially if you're somebody that kind of consumes content throughout the day, lots of shows going on. The shows that I generally make are the ones that send me little reminders that they're on and give me a link. It is really helpful for people, and especially if you're doing regular stuff, if you're doing a webinar twice a month, if you're doing a podcast once a week and you want people to download it when it's available through iTunes, if you're doing a live stream like this, regular broadcast, short and sweet. Hey, this is coming up. Just wanted to remind you. Here is a sweet emoji for you to remember me by. See you tomorrow. That kind of thing. That's the most basic level to set up. And honestly, in ManyChat, which I work with pretty exclusively, in ManyChat, these broadcasts are easy to set up and they're easy to repeat, so that people get them every time. So that's the most basic level. Hey, this is going on in 15 minutes. Wander over here. Why don't you? Second level. This is intermediate level. Do event registration right inside your bot plus the reminders. So instead of giving people the link to the Facebook event, instead of giving people the link to the Eventbrite, whatever is happening there, you can give them a link to register for stuff right inside your bot. Now, why is this cool and important? Well, then, instead of checking the Facebook event for that address of the place that you're going to be, or instead of going other places, they're starting to look inside your chatbot for information about what's going on with you. Convenient access to information. I don't have to go anywhere else to look. I don't have to look up the event on Facebook. I don't know how many times I've done that. And it's always a pain right in a sensitive area. So, convenient access to information when you get the registration in there and the reminders all together. That is good stuff. That'll work with online or offline events. That'll work with both your regular broadcasts and that one-off workshop that you have on a different day every month or every 2 months or 3 months, or with a webinar that you do. That will work with anything, the registration stuff. Now, if it's something that costs money, right at the moment, ManyChat is not handling that. ManyChat does not handle transactions within. However, it's cooking and it's starting to make the house smell good. It's coming. It's imminent. They are now in testing of something that will allow people to pay for events through the bot using our favorite Stripe. So know that. Think about putting that in there for your events because once again, one-stop shopping, just one convenient place for all of the information that there is. I don't have to go and look at the event for the time, the place, any of the information. If I'm registered through your bot, it's all online, and then you're just sending reminders. Also, if you're a person who likes to get a little bit extra information with event registration and do something with that information, that is also possible within your bot. What happens there is that you can use a program called Zapier. This is for the advanced technological ninjas out there. If you're just starting out with bots, tune out for the next 30 seconds. Think about baseball. Baseball's coming. All right. So you can use Zapier to take the information like email addresses, phone numbers, whatever you need, and zap it out of the bot to your favorite CRM or spreadsheet or whatever you want. So you can take information in the bot and then take it out and plug it into different software. Okay, fantastic. Again, why would you do this? Convenient access to details. And you're training people. You're training people to look in one spot to get all the information that they might need for you. Excellent. Okay, this is advanced. This is the Disneyland experience here. This is your most advanced ninja level today. You can do engagement plus event registration plus reminders. So this is the whole enchilada. A lot of people are using this to drive investment in the event before the event happens. What does that mean? Well, a lot of people will say, don't charge nothing for your event, because if people aren't invested in it monetarily, then less people will show up. You'll get more people to show up if you make them pay for it. So, $5, $10, whatever it is. I've heard that a lot, and there are a lot of differing opinions on that. But this is not about, whether you charge or not. I will say that if you can get people to invest in the event so that they feel like they kind of expect some sort of payoff by attending your event, you're going to get a lot more people at your event. It's like that, you've invested something, now you're going to follow through with it. Time is something that people can invest. So let me give you some examples of how this worked, because it's kind of a little bit difficult to explain without an example. So here you go. There is a movie that was recently released. It was a kids movie. The name is escaping me right now because I'm talking about it online. That's why. But they did, instead of a trailer for the movie, which is pretty standard practice, they created a bot that took kids through a scavenger hunt. Now, it was kids, young adults. So people that, obviously had an account, or used people, kids were using their parents' accounts or whatever. But what this did was People stayed engaged with that bot for an average of 10 minutes each. Okay, so think about what that means. Usually, a movie trailer, standard practice in the industry, it's maybe a 2-3 minute thing. It is also a passive opportunity to consume information, because what are you doing? Your eyeballs are glued to the screen. Absolutely, you're interested, but it's a passive way to consume information. What if you develop an active way for people to consume information? This 10-minute scavenger hunt, people are online engaged with their stuff for a full 10 minutes on average instead of a 2-minute. And it didn't cost nearly the money that movie trailers generally need to have to make them made. Movie trailers are expensive, bots are not. So it's interesting. People have been using bots to creatively engage people before and after the event. So not only, before, we're going to maybe, if it's a fun event or something like that, what if we're going to do a little bit of a scavenger hunt or something like that? That could totally be. Or maybe you're speaking at an event somewhere and you'd like to engage your audience and make contacts out of them, people that you can further contact to, meet with, collaborate with, do some business with, whatever it is. So before these, say you're speaking somewhere, you're speaking at a convention. A lot of times those are one-to-many experiences, and you've worked really hard to get the speaking engagement, but it's kind of hard for people to get a hold of you and have a conversation with you afterwards because there's a bunch of them and only one of you. So people, kind of say hello, throw their business cards, you contact after that. What if you did it a little bit differently? What if you used a bot to connect with your audience beforehand? Hey, doing this speech on the 20th, know that you're at that convention or whatever. What if you asked people what their knowledge or their level of knowledge was about the topic you were talking about before you got up and talked about it? What if you asked people if they had any questions that you could answer during the event? Most Q&A sessions, when people are up there speaking at a convention, it's like, okay, people will talk for a while and then they'll go, okay, we're doing Q&A now. And it's limited to if you can get up to the microphone in time. Then, of course, there's all that lights, camera, action staring you in the face, and that keeps a lot of people in their seats instead of asking questions. There are so many more opportunities if you put that Q&A in the bot beforehand, and then you can just answer those questions that you've gleaned from the people that, have asked you questions. Q&A time now, get up to the microphones, everybody race for that. You can, have stuff prepared beforehand that answers people's actual questions. So that's another way. One thing, and then of course, contacting people after the event. Hey, how'd you like that? What did you learn? Would love to be connected with you. That kind of stuff. Let's grab a coffee or get an online meeting going or something like that. You can use it to engage with every person in that audience who's signed up for your bot. And you can have meaningful touches with them instead of just kind of the flyby. Oh, I loved your speech. It was so inspirational. It's so nice to meet you. Yeah, that's great. But having people that you've just presented to is huge. So some sort of engagement. Think of it like this. When we buy DVDs, which is happening less and less nowadays. So I may think of a different mode of analogy here. But when people, when DVDs were first popular, people were like, whoa, DVD extras. you know, extra little, little documentaries of how we filmed this or how the sound works, or, the actors doing their screen tests, that kind of a thing. These DVD extras were designed to make you feel like more involved with the story. And if you got the box set, even better. I do have the box set of The Matrix. You know that I do have that. Anyway, all sorts of extras included in that, like 6 hours or so of extras included in that. So for things that you want people to attend, think about what kind of an extra experience you can create around that event. Something that people can invest their time in, because that will make them all the more likely to get up off that couch or get up out of their desk and show up at your event. It's drive-in attendance at those things. Those are what create more relationships with people, and the more relationships that you can create, the more business you will do. Remember also, in that, the engagement plus registration plus reminders, remember to put your personality into that part of the chatbot as well. Super important here. Super important here. You're going to want to do this because even though maybe it's a formal presentation, you can still put personality into those things. Words and phrases that you say, things that you do. You are having a conversation. Just don't forego that if it's a formal event. Still put some of that in there because it's a conversation. You don't want to turn it ever in a chatbot. You don't ever want to turn it into a lecture. That just does not work. That does not work. You're better off not writing anything or just sending out reminders for stuff if it's like that. So do put personality into the bot. Whatever you're doing, whether you're doing the basic level of getting to people to your events, just send out the reminders, whether you're doing the advanced registration plus reminders, or whether you're doing the full enchilada engagement, registration, and reminders. So that is what I've got for you today. If you are wondering whether you should start the bots, whether if it's right for you, you can go to startyourbot.com. Robert Stern. Hey. How you doing there, Robert? Good to see you. Glad you're out of the snow. That's you're not out of it, are you? It's still kind of flaking down, but my parents-in-law sent me a picture of their deck this morning. They live in North Carolina, and you would think that they lived in Minnesota. It's craziness. Anyway, you happen to have run up on the end of the show here. So just want to remind everybody, if you're wondering whether you should start on bots or not, if it's going to be good for you, I have a 7-day free mini course at checkoutmybot.com. And I also have a link in the description of my new challenge. It's a 5-day challenge getting started with bots. It's producing a really, really simple bot at the end of 5 days. You can start that one too. That one is called startyourbot.com. And with that, I am going to run. I've got some stuff going on. And Robert says, not snowing anymore, but the cleanup has been crazy. I wish you well. Geez, the shovel in snow is just not fun in any way you cut it. So hope that everything goes well for you there, Robert. I know that can really be a pain. So if you have any questions about getting more people to your events or about bots, do let me know. Comment below. And I will see you all at Tuesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. CST, of course. Would love to have you there, and get into my bot. You'll get a reminder. It'll be great. All right, my friends, then I will see you in a bot.